Hey, how's everyone doing today? This video is about my Canadian National 210-2 steam locomotive. And when I first got into the hobby, approximately 2.5 years ago, so not a very long time, um, it was mentioned to get myself started to look for the old train sets that a grocery chain, not train, uh, did back in the day. So we have a grocery store across Canada called President's Choice Superstore. So Superstore President's Choice is like one of their brand names in there. So PC for short. So from the early 90s up until the early 2000s, I think the last one was 2004, 2005. PC did train sets, and who they got to do the train sets for them was IHC Mahino, which I do believe is an Italian company, and so that's how they contracted out to do them. And I was told that the locomotives are extremely good quality, and they really nice quality. So when I first got into the hobby, I bought four of these train sets, new in box, and a lot of them has they made their way into the United States too. So you can get them. People sell them new in box for like the cheapest one I got was $80, but that was really on the low end. But normally about $150 Canadian. I see some as high as 200, like new in box. But I mean they're definitely worth it. This particular one here, the details are really well done. Like there's a lot of separately applied details from the factory on this steam locomotive. And the wheel configuration, like I say, it's it's a 210-2. So all this, I don't know all the parts on the steam locomotive. Like I couldn't even tell you half of them, but from visual appearance, like I could tell 100% just from building models that there are a lot of applied details on it. So it's not just all molded in. Like as you can see, like the piping or hosing or whatever you want to call it, they're all separate detail. The walkway is what do you want to call that? So your feet don't slip. I'm having a brain fart. It's textured. I'll just say textured walkway. So hopefully the camera's picking this up good. There's a lot of detail there, a lot of piping there along the bottom. And if you're wondering, the front and rear trucks, they are they are spring. They have a suspension, which helps out a lot. Which helps out a lot actually. And what was it? This drive wheel right here. I don't know why just this one, but this one has suspension. That I've noticed when I was pushing up on them. This one has suspension. Why that one and the other ones, I'm not too sure. I can't explain that. And I never tried with any of them, but apparently they're not hard to put DCC and sound into at all. And they're a nice and heavy locomotive too. Even the tender doesn't have really bad detail. You know, some parts you had to put on yourself, which was not difficult, like the ladders in the back. But overall, like in my opinion, like very nicely detailed locomotive. I think this particular one is the. I didn't bring the box up with me. I kept all the boxes. I should have done that. But I do believe this one was the train set Big Ten Express, and I think it was one of the last ones they did. So I'll say like, I think it might have been 2004 or 2005 that this particular one came out. But like I say, I'm impressed with the detail. And the bell, it is metal. It's got a little metal bell on it. Or this here, flick it with my paintbrush I use to get dust off. And can't really tell, but there's this average detail in the inside. in the cab, just average. In the front, you got your air hose hookups. You can the camera's not, but you can make out the glad hands. They did put a little bit of glad hand detail on the tip. Probably makes sense if I threw a little bit of silver paint on those. Probably kind of cool. See if I can get a good shot here at the front of it. My camera is not the best at focusing. Or maybe I'll move this here out of the way and I can just kind of turn it around to get to the other side. Oh, there we go. And I'll bring it in a little bit. Get this side. Like, I think it's kind of cool, whatever these parts are called here, they're all separately applied. They're not molded in. Like, I got some steam locomotives where these details are just molded into the plastic, but on this guy here, separately applied. I think that's really cool. It's really nice. And then we got all the piping along here, all separate detail. And like I say, a little bit of interior detail. And the train set in general, like I say, the locomotive is the most impressive thing. Like the rolling stock, it's just average. Average rolling stock, and just like well, this train set here came with the nickel plate track. I do use it. I use the nickel plate track on my when I put the layout out here on the sun deck. But it's all taken down for the season now because it just gets way too cold out here. But yeah, overall, in my opinion, excellent locomotive. Like, I'm very happy with every locomotive that came with the President's Choice train sets. And I definitely recommend them if you can get them for a good price. And they're extremely reliable. Like, every one of my President's Choice steam locomotives run excellent. And whatever these are called right here, those are, I do believe they're made of metal too. And I really like that the rear and front trucks have suspension. I hear some steam locomotives without that option. They can have issues with the front and rear trucks staying on the track without suspension. All the steam locomotives I have, they all have suspension trucks. And of course, every one of the President's Choice train sets, they're all modeled after actual locomotives we have here in Canada. Most of them are museumed. This particular one here, it's been a while since I looked it up. I think it's in a museum in Ontario somewhere. See if I can get a good shot of the front. And I've never had this particular one apart. I had no reason to take it apart. The only thing I really oiled on it was the gear and just the metal rod moving parts, a little bit of sewing machine oil. That's all that was really recommended on it. And this particular one here does not have a smoker. From my knowledge, only one of the President's Choice train sets came with a smoking locomotive, and I do have that one. I'll feature it in another video. But yeah, even the detailing up there, that's all applied detail. It's not molded in to the body. I think that's really nice. My lighting out here isn't super great today, but I think it's picking up the most of it. Now this locomotive, I know it's a 210-2, but I don't know the actual classification of it. I'm sure someone else definitely does. Like maybe I should have probably Googled it before I made the video, but I'm sure someone will mention in the comments what the actual classification of this locomotive is. Oh, maybe that's it right there. Maybe it's a T2A underneath the number. I don't know. I could be very wrong. Don't quote me on that. Yeah, and there's a little bit of texture on the wood up on the top. I think that flap opens. I don't know. I don't have any fingernails right now. I can't remember if that opens or not. Let's see. That little flap opens. No, I don't think so. It looked like it did. That'd be kind of neat though. Not that anyone would ever really open it, but yeah, a little bit of texture up there. But yeah, I'm gonna stop this video now, and I'll do a video on one of the other President's Choice locomotives here very soon. All right, everyone, take care and have a great day. I'll see you soon.